Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Chapter 66.
Sun Quan, the ruler of Eastern Wu, he was absolutely fixated on getting Jingzhou back.
Obsessed, you could say.
He tasked his chief advisor, Zhang Zhao, right, to come up with a plan. And Zhang Zhao cooked up something. Well, it was as clever as it was devious.
Oh, definitely devious.
Yeah.
Zhang Zhao suggested they hold Zhu Gejin's family hostage back in Eastern Wu.
And Zhu Gejin is Zhu Guling's older brother serving Sun Quan.
Exactly. Then they send Zhu Gejin over to Liu Bei in Sichuan. The idea was to pressure Zhuge Liang, Liu Bei's top strategist, and through him pressure Liu Bei himself to return Jingzhou.
Wow. It wasn't just a request then.
Not at all. It was a calculated play on family loyalty, a huge deal back then, designed to basically create this inescapable moral bind for Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang.
Trying to force their hand, making it look like it was about family.
Precisely. A concession disguised as, familial duty.
So how did Zhuge Liang, the master strategist himself, react? His brother shows up with this heavy-handed request wrapped up in family concern.
Well, this is where Zhuge Liang's brilliance just shines. He saw right through it, instantly.
Knew it was a setup.
Totally. But instead of just defying Sun Quan outright, which, would put his brother's life at risk.
Right, the hostages.
He feigned extreme distress, started weeping openly, declared he'd sacrifice anything for his brother, this big emotional performance.
Playing the part
Perfectly. And it convinced Liu Bei to make what looked like a significant concession. He agreed to return half of Jingzhou, specifically the commanderies of Changsha, Lingling, and Guiang.
But knowing Zhuge Liang...
Exactly. If you look at the bigger picture, this wasn't really about giving up territory. It was a masterfully played delay tactic, buying time, shifting the immediate pressure somewhere else.
Ah, shifting the burden. I like that phrasing. Because the burden shifts squarely onto Guan Yu, doesn't it? The legendary god of war. He's the immovable object here.
Absolutely. Governor of Jingzhou, fiercely loyal to Liu Bei, his sense of honor was everything.
So Zhu Jin turns up in Jingzhou, letter from Liu Bei in hand, probably expecting a pretty smooth handover of those three commanderies. What happened?
Guan Yu flat out refuses, just says no.
Doesn't even hesitate?
Nope. And he delivers that famous line, the one that echoes through history. A general outside, the sovereign's commands are not always accepted.
Oof. That's bold.
It's more than just insubordination, right? It's a statement of his own authority, his own strategic judgment. And then, get this, he actually draws his sword.
No way!
Yes, his green dragon crescent blade. Effectively intimidates Zhuge Jin, making his refusal absolutely crystal clear.
So, for Guan Yu, Jingzhou wasn't just land.
No, it was sacred Han territory. He was sworn to protect it. His stubbornness, his refusal, it actually became a critical barrier for Sun Quan. And maybe, arguably, a convenient excuse for Liu Bei, too.
Right, Liu Bei can say, well, I tried, but you know Guan Yu.
Exactly. So Guan Yu's individual stance becomes a key part of the bigger strategy.
So Zhuge Jin, probably feeling utterly humiliated.
And likely terrified.
Right. He has to go back and report this epic fail to Liu Bei. What's Liu Bei's next play in this diplomatic chess game?
Well, Liu Bei knew Guan Yu's tempo better than anyone, obviously, so he offers another delay.
Classic Liu Bei.
Stalling again. Totally. He tells Zhu Gejin, look, I'll deal with the Jingzhou thing, but only after I've taken East Sichuan and Hanzhong. Then, he says, then I can maybe reassign Guan Yu, and we can sort out Jingzhou.
So he's using Guan Yu's famous inflexibility as cover.
Pretty much, yeah, exploiting it to buy even more time. And of course, back in Eastern Wu, this just makes Sun Quan even angrier.
You can imagine. He must be absolutely furious by now. Tired of the delays, tired of being stonewalled.
Fed up. So he decides, okay, diplomacy isn't working, let's just take them. He tries to install his own officials in those three commanderies by force.
And how does Guan Yu react to that?
Predictably.
Yeah.
He's having none of it. He promptly drives every single one of those officials back out.
Doesn't mince words, I bet.
Threatens serious violence against anyone who even thinks about lingering.
Yeah.
It's a direct slap in the face to Sun Quan. A total dismissal of his authority.
And that pushes Sun Quan over the edge.
That's the breaking point. It becomes clear that, polite requests, even a bit of force, it's not going to work against Guan Yu.
So Eastern Wu needs a new plan. Something more aggressive.
Much more aggressive.
Yeah.
And dangerous.
Right. So diplomacy is dead in the water. Sun Quan is fuming. And then Lu Su, another key strategist for Wu, steps up.
He does. And he proposes a plan that's just incredibly bold, desperate, really, and unbelievably risky. It's a huge gamble.
What is it?
He suggests inviting Guan Yu to a banquet at Luku.
A banquet, after all this. Sounds suspicious.
Oh, it's more than suspicious. This isn't an olive branch.
Mm-hmm.
The real intention is chillingly clear. Try one last time to persuade Guan Yu to return Jingzhou.
And if he refuses, which seems likely.
Then 50 axemen hidden nearby will rush in and assassinate him right there.
50 axemen, wow.
And then there's a backup plan, too. If Guan Yu senses the trap and refuses to even come to the banquet,
Then what?
then they launch an immediate full-scale military attack on Jingzhou. It's an all-or-nothing trap. Either Guan Yu is eliminated, or it's war on their terms.
That is audacious and incredibly dangerous. Okay, now this is where it gets really fascinating. This is where the legend of Guan Yu is truly forged, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because you'd think anyone getting an invitation like that under these circumstances, they'd be wary, right?
Extremely wary.
And his own son, Guan Ping, and his advisor, Ma Liang, they warned him, didn't they? They told him Lu Su couldn't be trusted, that it was obviously a trap.
They did. Explicitly warned him about the danger.
But Guan Yu, he just brushes it off with that legendary audacity.
Completely dismisses their concerns. And this tells you so much about him. He didn't see it as a trap to avoid. He saw it as a direct challenge.
A challenge to his courage, his reputation.
Exactly. He couldn't be seen as a coward. He understood the massive psychological impact of showing absolute fearlessness. He even compared himself to Lin Xiangru.
From the Warring States period, the diplomat who stared down the king of Qin.
That's the one. Famous for intimidating the king with just his wits and presence. So Guan Yu's move here isn't just recklessness. It's a calculated display of supreme confidence. It's psychological warfare.
But wait a minute. Okay, he appears reckless, right? Just marching into the lion's den. But he wasn't entirely unprepared, was he? This is where it goes beyond bravado.
This is the key part, the nuance that makes it genius, not just arrogance.
Right.
His outward display, the sheer boldness, it was backed up by some very careful, very calculated planning. He plans to go to the banquet with only about a dozen close followers.
And his famous blade.
And his signature single blade, the green dragon crescent blade, carried prominently by his loyal guy, Zhu Kang. That's the visible part, the audacious display.
But there's more.
There's the unseen element. He secretly tells Guan Ping to get 10 fast ships ready, filled with 500 elite Marines, and have them waiting across the river ready to move the second they see a signal, a red flag.
So it's this incredible blend then, fearless courage on the surface.
But backed by sharp strategic foresight underneath. It's like the ultimate poker face. Calm exterior, hiding a very well thought out plan B.
Okay, so the stage is set for this incredible showdown. The day of the banquet arrives. How does Guan Yu actually arrive at Luku? How does this carefully crafted display hit Lu Su and his generals?
His arrival is just a psychological masterstroke. He sails in on one single boat.
Just one.
Just one. Flying a single red flag with the character Guan on it. Lu Su, Lu Meng, Gan Ning. These are tough, experienced commanders. They are visibly taken aback, maybe even unnerved by how small Guan Yu's entourage is.
They were probably expecting a whole army for protection.
Right. And then seeing Zhu Kang, this huge figure carrying that massive legendary blade, it must have sent a chill through them. It immediately threw them off balance, planted seeds of doubt, of fear, before anyone even said a word.
He's controlling the narrative from the first moment.
Exactly. He flipped their expectations completely, making them second-guess their own plan.
And the banquet itself, I mean, the tension must have been suffocating. Lu Su knows he has assassins waiting.
Yeah, 50 axemen hidden just out of sight.
And Guan Yu, the target, is just sitting there. Cool as you like.
It's described as this masterpiece of uneasy atmosphere. Lu Su is visibly anxious, can barely make eye contact, shifting around.
Sweating, probably.
You'd imagine so. But Guan Yu, totally calm, composed, making small talk, like he's just enjoying a nice dinner with friends.
That's incredible, the psychological pressure he's exerting just by being calm.
It's immense. His stillness against Lu Su's nervousness, against the palpable tension from the generals. It's a powerful form of intimidation in itself, disarming them before they even make a move.
So as the dinner goes on, Lu Su finally works up the nerve.
Yeah, halfway through, he kind of cautiously brings up Jingzhou, starts talking about Liu Bei's broken promises, how ungrateful Wu feels.
The official complaint, how does Guan Yu handle it, knowing the axemen are probably listening?
He handles it brilliantly, doesn't get angry, doesn't get defensive. He just calmly deflects. Says something like, hey, this is a banquet, a friendly gathering. Matters of state aren't really appropriate discussion right now.
Buys himself a moment.
Exactly. And then he immediately pivots, goes on the offensive, but subtly. He reminds Lu Su of Liu Bei's absolutely critical role in the Battle of Wulin.
Red Cliffs, the battle that saved Eastern Wu, basically.
Yeah, precisely. The battle that completely changed the map, where Wu desperately needed Liu Bei's help. That's a brilliant counter. Reminding Lu Su of their shared history, their past reliance on Liu Bei, it subtly implies Wu owes them.
Totally reframes the whole debt argument. Very clever.
Yeah, flips the script entirely.
But, okay, clever arguments aside, the Axemen are still there. How does he actually get out of there? This seems impossible.
This is the masterstroke. The grand finale. At just the right moment, Zhu Kang, his huge retainer.
The one with the blade earlier.
That's him.
Yeah.
He suddenly shouts out something like, "Only the virtuous should possess land." Now, this sounds like a random outburst, maybe.
Yeah, seems out of place.
But it wasn't. It was the prearranged signal.
Ah, the cue.
Exactly. Guan Yu immediately pretends to be furious, snatches the green dragon crescent blades from Zhu Kang, yells at him, tells him to get out.
All part of the act.
All part of the act. Zhu Kang, playing his part, storms off towards the shore. And what does he do?
Waves the red flag.
Waves the red flag. And instantly, across the river, Guan Ping's hidden fleet, those 10 fast ships, the 500 Marines, they start appearing, sailing rapidly towards them.
The cavalry arrives. Well, the navy.
Right. The trap is sprung. But it's Lu Su who's caught, not Guan Yu.
So the tables are completely turned. His backup has arrived. Guan Yu makes his final dramatic move. What is it?
With his ships clearly visible and approaching fast, Guan Yu seizes the moment. He grabs Lu Su by the arm.
Grabs the host?
Yep. Pretends to be really drunk now, slurring his words, saying, "Oh, discussing Jingzhou will just spoil our friendship, my dear Lu Su."
Drunk and friendly while holding him hostage.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
And he keeps hold of Lu Su, practically dragging him as he walks towards his own boat. Now, Lu Meng and Gan Ning, they see this.
What can they do?
Nothing. They see Guan Yu, blade in hand, holding their commander. They see the fleet approaching. They're paralyzed. They attack. Lu Su dies. And they face Guan Yu's Marines. They're frozen.
Checkmate.
Completely. Guan Yu doesn't let go of Lu Su until he's safely back on his own boat and sailing away, leaving Lu Su just standing there, utterly dumbfounded, humiliated, defeated.
Wow. What an escape. The psychological win there is just huge. So what happens immediately after? Lu Su and Sun Quan must be absolutely livid.
Oh, livid doesn't even cover it. Shock, fury, humiliation. Lu Su and Lu Meng report back to Sun Quan immediately, basically saying, okay, prepare for war, now.
So war seems inevitable.
It seems inevitable. But then, here's the twist. Here's where Guan Yu's gamble pays off in a way nobody could have predicted.
What happens?
Just as Sun Quan is processing this massive failure and getting ready to attack Jingzhou, completely unrelated news arrives. Urgent news.
From where?
From the north. A report comes in. Cao has just launched a massive invasion. 300,000 troops heading south.
Whoa. Okay, that changes things.
Completely changes everything. Suddenly, Jingzhou is not the priority. This is an existential threat from Cao. Sun Quan has to drop everything, forget about Guan Yu for now, and redirect all his forces to defend his northern border.
So Guan Yu's single blade meeting didn't just save him.
It inadvertently bought crucial time for Liu Bei. Maybe even saved them from an immediate war they might not have been ready for. It completely reshuffled the immediate strategic landscape. Just incredible consequences from one act of bravery and cunning. Cao. A man whose ambition was just this relentless, often unpredictable force. Okay, so at this point in our story, Cao is, well, he's a formidable figure. Seems poised for even greater expansion.
Definitely.
He has his sights set on a massive southern campaign, planning to conquer the remaining territories, Wu and Shu, and basically unify China under his banner. But then something kind of unexpected happens.
Yeah?
His advisor, Fu Gan, who is a pretty shrewd strategist, submits a memorial. And it argues against immediate military action.
Okay. Pushing back a bit.
Exactly. And Fu Gan's counsel is really insightful. He emphasizes that using prestige comes before force, using virtue comes before civility.
Interesting distinction.
Yeah. He suggests Cao should focus instead on enhancing cultural virtue, laying down arms, resting the army, and nurturing soldiers, things like that.
Consolidate first, basically.
Right. He points out the formidable challenges, like confronting Wu's Yangtze River defenses and Shu's mountains with this huge army. He argues it would only, quote, humiliate celestial might.
That's a strong argument to make to someone like Cao.
It is. And what's quite remarkable, given Cao's usual character, is that he actually listens to Fu Gan.
Wow, okay. That is surprising.
He halts the southern campaign, he establishes schools, honors scholars. This strategic pause, it seems so out of character. What do you make of this tactical shift? In his long game, I mean.
Well, I think it's a really crucial insight into Cao Cao's evolving strategy. This isn't just a pause, right? It's a calculated move. He's solidifying his internal power base, trying to legitimize his rule, even as his ultimate ambitions are still growing.
Right, it's not just about winning battles.
Exactly. He understood that pure military might wasn't enough. He needed to cultivate this image of, well, benevolent governance. And this period, it marks a clear push to elevate Cao Cao even further, from Wei Duke to Wei King.
The next step.
The definitive step towards fully usurping the imperial throne. But this ambition faces significant opposition, even from within his closest circle, specifically from Zamshu Ling Sunyu. He was Cao Cao's chief secretary.
Okay, so someone high up.
Very high up. And Sun Yu bravely argues that Cao Cao is already Wei Duke, holds the 9 bestowments, which, in their time was the absolute pinnacle of honor.
Right.
So further elevation to king is, in his words, unreasonable. He's basically telling Cao Cao, look, you've gone as far as you can go without completely overturning the whole system.
Gutsy move.
Yeah.
How did Cao Cao take that?
Not well. Cao Cao's reaction is furious. He compares Sun Yu to the recently deceased Sun Yu, another loyal advisor who had also opposed his ambitions, remember?
Oh, right. That didn't end well for Sun Yu either.
Exactly. And tragically, Sun Yu, just deeply grieved and angered by this confrontation, falls ill, dies within a couple of weeks at 58.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that. Cao Cao grants him a lavish funeral, maybe as a show of respect, maybe just to save face, who knows. But he does postpone the matter of becoming Wei King, for a while anyway. This episode with Sun Yu, it really offers a stark lesson, doesn't it? In the face of that kind of absolute ambition, even loyalty and sound counsel become secondary to a ruler's will.
Yeah, it's a chilling demonstration. When power becomes unchecked, even the inner circle isn't safe.
Precisely.
Indeed, a chilling precedent. Cao Cao's ruthlessness in stamping out dissent, even among his most trusted advisors, it sends a clear message. And as his grip tightens on his inner circle, we now turn our attention to the desperate drama unfolding inside the imperial palace itself, where Emperor Xian and Empress Fu found themselves trapped in this gilded cage.
Right.
So one day, Cao Cao, sword in hand, just strides into the palace. He finds Emperor Xian and Empress Fu together. The Empress immediately rises, and the Emperor, well, understandably, he's trembling.
You can picture it. The tension must have been incredible.
Totally. Cao Cao questions the Emperor about Sun Quan and Liu Bei's defiance, almost like he expects the Emperor to do something about it, which is absurd, of course.
Yeah, as if he had any real power left.
And the Emperor's reply is just utterly subservient. It is all for Wei Duke to decide.
Just completely defeated.
But Cao Cao, always the manipulator.
Yeah.
Right? He feigns anger, says outsiders will say I am deceiving the Emperor.
Oh, the irony.
Right, and then the Emperor, in this moment of just pure desperation, makes a plea that shows exactly how dire his situation is. He says, if you were willing to assist me, that would be fortunate. Otherwise, I wish you would show kindness and release me.
Wow. Asking to be deposed, essentially? Just let me go.
Pretty much, you can truly feel the weight of his powerlessness. And Cao Cao's reaction to this desperate plea, it's grim, just a hateful glare. Then he turns and leaves. In silence.
Chilling. The silence probably spoke volumes.
Definitely.
And this scene, it perfectly illustrates the Emperor's sheer powerlessness, doesn't it? Reduced to pleading for his own life. A stark contrast to his supposed divine authority.
Absolutely.
And it's precisely this humiliation, I think, that ignites that spark of desperate resistance in Empress Fu.
Okay. She's watching all this.
She is. And court officials witnessing these exchanges, they warn the Emperor, look, Cao Cao clearly intends to usurp the throne. So the Emperor and Empress Fu are left just weeping together. Their fear is palpable.
Understandably.
It's in this moment that Empress Fu reveals that her own father, Fu Wan, has actually long harbored thoughts of killing Cao Cao.
Oh, really? So this wasn't entirely out of the blue.
No. And she proposes writing a secret letter to him, urging him to act now. The Emperor, though, he's terrified. He recalls that failed plot by Dong Cheng, which led to a horrific massacre.
Right, he doesn't want a repeat of that.
He fears history repeating itself. But Empress Fu's resolve is, well, it's hardened by their situation. She declares, and this is quite a line, it is better to perish early than to live like this on pins and needles every day.
Powerful words. She's had enough.
She has. She identifies a loyal eunuch, Mu Shun, as trustworthy. And then, heart-pounding, probably, she writes this secret letter. and trusts it to Mushin, who very cunningly hides it in his hair.
In his hair. Okay, that's some serious spycraft.
Right. And Mushin, true to his word, delivers the letter to Fu Wan. Now, the broader implications here are profound. This isn't just a personal feud or a queen trying to protect her family.
It's bigger than that.
It's a desperate attempt to restore imperial authority against this rising hegemon. It's really a last stand for the Han dynasty. The stakes couldn't be higher.
Definitely. So what does Fu Wan do? Does he jump into action?
Well, Fu Wan, upon receiving the letter, gives a strategic response. He advises against acting hastily. He knows Cao Cao has too many confidants, eyes and ears everywhere.
Smart. A direct attack would be suicide.
Probably. Instead, he suggests waiting. Waiting for Sun Quan and Liu Bei to raise armies externally, then seeking loyal officials internally for a kind of pincer attack.
Okay, a coordinated effort. Makes sense.
So he writes a reply, also hidden in Mushin's top knot, back to the Empress, requesting secret edicts from the Emperor to rally Wu and Shu.
So the plan relies on Mushin getting back into the palace undetected with this reply.
Exactly.
The stage is set for this grand, desperate plan. But as you said, with clandestine operations against a powerful tyrant like Cao Cao, things can unravel in an instant.
Mm-hmm. And they do.
The dramatic turn comes swiftly. Cao Cao is informed of the plot by an unnamed informant.
Ugh, the betrayal. We don't even know who.
Nope, someone talked. Cao Cao then intercepts Mu Xun right at the palace gate.
Oh no. Bad timing.
Terrible timing. Mu Xun, thinking fast, initially lies, claiming he's just fetching a doctor for the Empress. But Cao Cao is shrewd, right? He doesn't buy it.
You wouldn't.
He orders his men to search Mu Xun. They find nothing. He's actually about to let him go when suddenly a gust of wind blows off Mu Xun's hat.
Oh, you're kidding. A gust of wind.
The gust of wind. Cao Cao, his suspicions immediately heightened, calls him back. He examines the hat, finds nothing, tells him to put it back on. But Mu Xun, totally flustered now, puts his hat on backward.
The tiny detail. That's the giveaway.
That's it. Cao Cao orders a search of Mu Xun's hair, and there it is, Fu Wan's letter, detailing the whole plan to collude with Sun Quan and Liu Bei.
Oh, Mushin, talk about bad luck. A gust of wind and putting your hat on wrong seals your fate. Grim.
Truly grim.
And this sequence, it just highlights Cao Cao's ruthless efficiency, doesn't it, in dealing with threats, even from inside the imperial court. His immediate response is one of just absolute fury.
I bet.
He dispatches 3,000 armored soldiers immediately, surrounds Fu Wan's residence, arrests everyone, all family members.
The whole family.
The whole family. Empress Fu's original letter is found, too, sealing their fate. Fu Wan's entire 3 clans, that means his immediate family, his mother's family, and his wife's family.
Oh, wow, that's broad.
Terrifyingly broad term for collective punishment. They're all imprisoned. The very next morning, Imperial General Shi Lu is sent to the palace with 300 armored soldiers. His chilling mission: confiscate the Empress's seal.
Just strip her of her title, symbolically and literally. You can just imagine the scene.
Yeah.
Emperor Xian sees Shi Lu and the soldiers marching in.
Yeah.
He instantly knows the plot is exposed. He's heartbroken, his spirit just utterly crushed.
It must have been devastating.
Shi Lu enters the inner palace, finds Empress Fu just rising from her rest. He coldly takes her seal, the symbol of her imperial authority, now completely meaningless. Empress Fu, realizing her peril, hides. She finds a concealed space behind a wall in the Jiaofeng chamber. A desperate attempt to escape the inevitable.
A last resort, hiding behind a wall.
But it's no use.
Yeah.
Sheng Shiling Huaxin, remember that name? Huaxin, the minister of the Imperial Secretariat, arrives with 500 armored soldiers.
Huaxin.
When the palace maids claim they don't know where she is, Huaxin doesn't hesitate. He orders the wall broken down.
Just smashes through it.
And then, in a moment of just utter brutality, Huaxin personally drags the Empress out by her hair.
Oh my God, by her hair.
By her hair. Her desperate plea for her life is met with his cold, unfeeling command. Go explain yourself to Wei Duke.
No mercy whatsoever, just following orders or maybe relishing it.
It's hard to say, but the image is horrifying. The Emperor's ultimate despair and Empress Fu's tragic end. What does this truly reveal about the nature of unchecked power?
It's brutal.
Empress Fu, disheveled, barefoot, is dragged out. Emperor Xian sees her, rushes to her, embracing her and weeping openly, his dignity completely stripped away.
Such a public humiliation for both of them.
But Huaxin, just unfeeling, urges them to hurry. Citing Cao Cao's command, Empress Fu cries to the Emperor, "Can you not save my life?"
What could he even say?
And the Emperor, in a line that just perfectly captures his utter despair, replies, "I don't even know when my own life will end."
Chilling. He knows he's next, potentially.
Yeah. The Empress is dragged away, and the Emperor pounds his chest in anguish, crying out to Ji-Lu, "Is there such a thing in the world?" before just collapsing to the ground.
Wow. The complete collapse of imperial authority right there. This deeply personal tragedy, it just underscores the ultimate vulnerability of anyone who stood in Cao Cao's way, regardless of their status. Emperor, Empress, it didn't matter.
No.
It's a stark illustration of how far he was willing to go to consolidate power, extinguishing any flame of opposition, no matter how small, no matter how imperial.
So what happens to the Empress?
Hua Xin brings Empress Fu directly to Cao Cao. Cao Cao, in this fit of enraged accusation, declares, "I treated you with sincerity, yet you want to harm me. If I don't kill you, you will surely kill me."
His justification: kill or be killed.
Pretty much. He then orders her to be beaten to death.
Beaten to death, not even a quick execution.
No. And the brutality doesn't stop there. He immediately enters the palace and has her 2 sons poisoned.
Merciless.
Utterly. That same night, Fu Wan, Mu Shun, and over 200 members of their clans are executed in the marketplace. Publicly.
200 people.
Over 200. This horrifying event happened in the 11th month of the 19th year of Jianan, which is late 214 CE. A poem from the time just perfectly laments the brutality. Cao Man's cruelty, unseen in the world. Fu Wan's loyalty, what did it achieve? Pitiable separation of emperor and empress, worse than common husband and wife.
Wow. Worse than commoners. That says a lot. It's a truly devastating chapter.
Absolutely devastating.
And what's particularly chilling is the calculated speed with which Cao Cao then moves to replace her, as if to just erase any trace of defiance and assert absolute control.
No time wasted.
Emperor Xian, utterly distraught, refuses to eat for days.
Yeah.
But Cao Cao, ever the pragmatist, enters and assures the emperor, "Oh, I have no ulterior motives. My daughter has already become a noble lady to your majesty. She is virtuous and filial, and she should reside in the main palace."
The sheer audacity after murdering the previous empress and her sons.
Incredible. And the emperor, he dares not refuse. In the first month of the 20th year of Jian, just 2 months after the massacre, Cao Cao's daughter is formally instated as the new empress.
2 months, wow.
No one dares to speak against it. It's a swift, undeniable consolidation of power.
Yeah, that sequence solidified Cao Cao's dominance completely, eliminated any remaining pretense of Han imperial authority, totally subjugated the emperor. But this horrific episode, it also forces us to look beyond the immediate politics, right? To the individuals who were complicit in such brutality and those who refused.
Right, like Hua Xin.
Exactly. This brings us to a truly striking contrast in character that offers us, I think, a timeless lesson. Let's look at Hua Xin, the man who dragged the empress out by her hair, and his contemporary, Guan.
Guan. Okay, who was he?
They were 2 scholars, both known for their talent. They were actually friends once, famously called one dragon together. Hua Xin was the head, another scholar Bing Yuan the belly, and Guan the tail, so highly regarded.
The dragon analogy, got it.
But we have these 2 anecdotes that just perfectly illustrate their diverging paths. In the first, they're tilling a garden together, and they uncover some gold.
Okay.
Guan completely ignores it, just keeps hoeing the earth like nothing happened. Hua Xin, however, picks it up, examines it, then tosses it away. Curious, but ultimately dismissive, maybe a hint of interest there.
Subtle difference. What's the second one?
The second is even more telling. They're both reading inside, and a noble passes by outside with all the pomp and circumstance, a big procession.
Right.
Guan remains seated, unmoved, completely focused on his book. Hua Xin, on the other hand, drops his book and runs out to go watch the spectacle.
Drawn to the power and status.
Exactly. And it was at this point that Guan, supposedly disgusted by Hua Xin's character, literally cut the mat they were sharing, refused further friendship.
Cut the mat, like physically cut it.
That's the story. Symbolically severing their ties. He saw the fundamental difference in their values. Guan later retreated to Liudong, wore a white hat, a symbol of reclusion, lived in a tower, supposedly never touched the ground again, and steadfastly refused to serve Wei his entire life. He chose integrity over power.
Wow. Lived in a tower. That's commitment.
Total commitment to principle. Hua Xin, on the other hand, had a very different trajectory. He served Sun Quan for a bit before joining Cao Cao, and his career culminated in his brutal role in capturing Empress Fu, directly serving Cao Cao's tyranny.
Stark contrast.
Incredibly stark. And there's a powerful poem from the era that laments Hua Xin. Hua Xin's fierce plot that day broke the wall and seized the empress. Assisting tyranny added wings to a tiger. His bad name for 1,000 years will mock the dragon's head.
Mocking the dragon's head. Ouch.
Yeah. And a contrasting poem about Guan. Liu Dong records Guan tower. The man is gone, the tower empty, but his name remains. How laughable is the greedy Ziyu, that's Huaxin's courtesy name, for wealth and honor, not like the white-hatted one, free and unconstrained.
What a powerful illustration of choices. It truly makes you wonder, what drives people down such different paths when they're facing the same powerful forces? Is it the allure of wealth, the promise of influence, or just a different interpretation of loyalty?
It's a fantastic question, and this contrast, it beautifully illustrates that timeless dilemma, doesn't it? The stark choice between opportunism, which might grant you immediate power and success, versus unwavering integrity, which often secures a more respected, enduring legacy, even if it means living in seclusion like Guan.
Yeah.
The story of Huaxin and Guan forces us to consider the long-term legacy of those decisions, for the individual and for history.
Absolutely. And as Cao Cao consolidates this internal power, his strategic mind, as we saw earlier with Fu Gan's advice, is already turning to external conquests again.
Right, he paused, but he didn't stop.
Exactly. Now at the peak of his power, he convenes a meeting. Topic: conquering Wu and Shu. Jie Shou, another key advisor, suggests recalling Xiao Dun and Cao Ren for counsel, two trusted generals.
Bringing in the military minds.
Yeah. And there's a small, but I think illuminating anecdote during this time. It illustrates the kind of absolute loyalty Cao Cao now valued, maybe even demanded.
Oh.
When Cao Ren arrives, he tries to enter Cao Cao's private room while Cao Cao is drunk and resting. But Zhu Chu, Cao Cao's incredibly loyal bodyguard, blocks him.
Blocks Cao Ren, a top general and a relative.
Blocks him.
Yeah.
Shu Chu states that even a close relative like Cao Ren is an outer vassal, while he, Shu Chu, is an inner attendant, guarding the Lord. Duty first. Cao Cao hears about this later and praises Shu Chu's unwavering loyalty.
Wow. That little detail, it really reinforces the kind of absolute unwavering loyalty Cao Cao demanded from his inner circle after he'd so brutally eliminated dissent, doesn't it?
Good point. Set the standard.
Yeah, it's a glimpse into the mechanics of his power base, where even family ties sometimes took a backseat to direct service, and that kind of unquestioning loyalty would be crucial for his next phase of expansion.
Makes sense. So Shehu Dun arrives. What's his advice?
Well, Shihu Dun advises against attacking Wu and Shu directly, sort of echoing Fu Gan's earlier sentiments about the difficulty.
Okay, so not a full frontal assault.
No. Instead, Shehu Dun offers a counterproposal. First, take Hansong from Zhang Lu. Hansong was strategically vital.
Control the gateway to the west.
Exactly. Then, use that victorious army, fresh off a win, to conquer Shu in one go.
Momentum. Clever. Use one victory to springboard into the next.
Right. And Cao Cao immediately agrees, says exactly what I intended. Whether he actually intended it or just liked the idea, who knows, but he approves. He then mobilizes troops for this Western campaign, a significant shift in strategy after all that internal consolidation.